What set the stage for the first global conflict of the 20th century, World War I? Our tale begins with a simmering stew of nationalism, where intense pride in one's nation fueled competition and rivalries among European powers. Imperialism added another ingredient to the mix, as nations scrambled for colonies and resources, raising tensions to a fever pitch. Militarism, the arms race, and the build-up of military forces stirred the pot, making conflict all the more likely. But it was the entangling alliance systems that provided the unwieldy ladle, creating a complex web of commitments that could transform a regional clash into a global catastrophe. This precarious balance was disturbed on June 28, 1914, when Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne in Sarajevo. Austria-Hungary, in response, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, setting in motion a chain of events that would plunge the world into war. The stage was set, the players in position, and the spark of conflict was ready to ignite the entire continent. And so, the dominoes fell, one by one, pulling nations into a vortex of conflict. The war escalated rapidly, with alliances triggering a cascade of war declarations, ensnaring nearly the entire continent. The Central Powers, comprised of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, squared off against the Allies, which included France, Russia, and Britain, with other nations joining the fray later. The war was unlike any before it. The Western Front, a line of trenches stretching from the North Sea to the Swiss border, became a symbol of the brutal stalemate. Soldiers lived, fought, and often died in these muddy trenches, trapped in a deadly deadlock. But the war also marked a turning point in technology. Machine guns spat out death at an unprecedented rate. Tanks, lumbering metal beasts, crossed battlefields that were once impassable, and the air, once a place of peace, became a theater of war, with planes dropping bombs and chemical weapons. As the war raged on, its flames spread even beyond the European borders. World War I was not confined to the trenches of Europe. It was truly a global conflict. The war transcended continental boundaries, involving colonies and territories across the globe. European powers pulled their colonial subjects into the conflict, with troops from India, Africa, and the Pacific fighting in far-flung battlefields. The stage was also set for the entry of a significant player, the United States. The sinking of the Lusitania, a British ocean liner, by a German submarine in 1915 had sparked outrage in America. Then, in 1917, the Zimmermann telegram, a secret diplomatic communication from Germany proposing a military alliance with Mexico against the US, was intercepted and decoded by British intelligence. This was the final straw. The US declared war on Germany, joining the Allies. The war was far from over, but the tides were beginning to shift. Eventually, the guns fell silent, but the echoes of the conflict would reverberate for decades. Amidst the chaos, Russia fell into internal turmoil, leading to the Russian Revolution in 1917 and its subsequent withdrawal from the war. The fighting continued until November 11, 1918, when an armistice was signed, bringing an end to the bloodshed. In the aftermath, world leaders gathered in 1919 to negotiate the Treaty of Versailles. This peace accord imposed harsh conditions on Germany, holding it responsible for the war and imposing severe financial reparations. These terms sowed the seeds of discontent, contributing to future tensions. In an attempt to prevent further global conflicts, the League of Nations was established. Despite its noble intentions, the League faced numerous challenges and ultimately failed to prevent the outbreak of World War II. And so, World War I ended, leaving in its wake a world forever changed.